Have you been complaining about something you can't control or feel overwhelmed by the expectations of others? If the answer is yes, know that you are not alone. In the accelerated world we live in, it is common to fall into habits that, without realizing it, undermine our inner peace and move us away from a more balanced and significant life. These often unconscious behavioral patterns can lead us to a cycle of stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. But what if I tell you that there is an ancient philosophy that can help us identify and transform these habits? Today, we will explore the Stoic philosophy, a current of thought that has emerged in ancient Greece and remains extremely relevant these days. Big names like Seneca, Epicteto, and Marco Aurelio have left us powerful lessons on how to deal with adversity, control our emotions, and live with more purpose. Best of all, these lessons are not just theoretical, they can be applied in your daily life in a practical and transformative way. In this video, you will discover 7 harmful habits that go against the principles of Stoicism and which are most likely affecting their quality of life. In addition to identifying them, we will explore how to replace them with practices that promote emotional resilience, mental clarity, and inner peace. In the end, you will have concrete tools to better deal with everyday challenges and focus on what really matters. Before we start, take a paper and a pen. Write down the habits you identify with yourself throughout the video. This reflection will be the first step for a significant transformation. Ready? Let's go. First, complain of what cannot control. How many times have you complained about traffic, time, or a situation that was simply not within your reach? This is one of the most common and at the same time more harmful habits than we can cultivate. Complaining what we cannot control not only makes us frustrated, but it also takes away the energy we could be using to act where we really have influence. Stoics teach us a valuable lesson here, the control dichotomy. This idea, central to Epicteto philosophy, reminds us that there are things that are under our control, our choices, attitudes, and thoughts, and things that are not, the behavior of others, the climate, traffic. When we complain of what we can't control, we are wasting time and energy on something we cannot change. Imagine that you are stuck in traffic. Complaining will not make cars walk faster, but you can choose how to react to this situation. How? About using this time to hear an inspiring podcast, reflect on your day, or simply take a deep breath and practice patience. As Marco Aurelio said, it's not the things that disturb us, but our view of them. Applying the day-to-day control dichotomy helps us focus on what really matters and dealing with adversity more serenely. How about starting today? Next time something outside your control happens, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this within my power to change? If the answer is no, accept and move on. Seek external approval constantly. Changing your opinion, behavior, or even plans just to please others is a more common habit than we think. Seeking external approval may seem harmless, but it is actually a behavior that removes us from our authenticity and takes us into inner peace. When we live in function of the validation of others, we deliver control of our happiness to other people's hands, which generates anxiety and dissatisfaction. Stoics remind us that true freedom comes from within. Seneca, one of the big names, in Stoicism said, "If you live due to the approval of others, you will never be free." This constant search for external acceptance makes us hostage to the opinions of others, preventing us from living according to our own values and principles. Imagine being in a meeting and having an idea, but stop sharing it for fear of being judged. By silencing your voice, you are denying your own essence and moving away from who you really are. The Stoic solution for this is emotional self-sufficiency. Instead of seeking approval, focus on acting as you believe it is right. Remember, You don't need the validation of anyone to be happy or to make decisions that make sense to you. Start practicing this today. Next time you feel the need to please others, I pause and reflect. Am I acting for me or others? Gradually, you will break free from this dependence and discover a new way of living, more authentic and aligned with who you really are. To compare excessively with the others, we live in an era when social networks constantly show us the achievements, travel, and happy moments of others. It is easy to fall into the trap of comparing and, as a result, feel insufficient or inferior. However, this habit of excessive comparison is one of the greatest enemies of our inner peace. Stoics teach us that true happiness does not come from competing with others, but of focusing on our own progress. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Comparing yourself is the fastest way to unhappiness." When we compare, we are putting our self-esteem in the hands of external factors, such as the success or appearance of others, rather than valuing what we have already achieved. Imagine that you are looking at the photos of a friend who traveled to a dream destination. Instead of celebrating his achievement, you start to feel bad for not having the same opportunity. At this point, it is important to remember that each one has their own way and rhythm. The Stoic solution for this is gratitude. Focusing on what you already have and your own progress is the key to freeing yourself from the comparison. How about starting this today? Next time you get comparing your life with others, pause and make a mental list of the things you are grateful. Gradually, you will realize that true happiness is to value what you have already achieved and to go your own way, without worrying about others. Act on emotional impulse. How many times have you reacted to a situation in the heat of the moment, then regret what you said or did? Acting on emotional impulse is a habit that can cause conflict, damage relationships, and even affect our mental health. However, the Stoics offer us a powerful solution to dealing with it: the reflective pause. Seneca, one of the big names in Stoicism, said, "Master your emotions, or they will dominate you." This means that instead of immediately reacting to a situation that takes us from seriously, we should take a step back and reflect before acting. This pause allows us to evaluate the situation clearly and choose the most appropriate answer instead of being taken by the emotions of the moment. Imagine that you are in a heated discussion with someone. In the heat of emotion, you say something that hurts the other person. Then you realize that you could have dealt with the situation much more constructively. The Stoic solution for this is simple but effective. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and ask yourself, what is the wisest answer I can give now? How about starting this today? The next time you feel on the verge of an impulsive reaction, you pause and give yourself a moment to reflect. Gradually, you will realize that this short break can transform the way you deal with everyday challenges, bringing more harmony and clarity to your decisions. Focus only on the future and forget the present. It is natural to worry about the future, especially in a world full of uncertainty. However, when we spend so much time planning, dreaming, or worrying about what is coming, we risk losing what is happening here and now. This habit of excessively focusing on the future can lead us to constant anxiety and a feeling that we are never really living. Stoics remind us of the importance of living the present. Marco Aurelio, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Live each day as if it were the last one." This idea is not about ignoring the future, but about finding a balance between planning and appreciating the current moment. After all, the present is the only moment we really have control. Imagine that you are so focused on achieving a future goal, as a promotion at work or a dream trip, that ends up ignoring the small joys of everyday life, as a moment of connection with the family or the beauty of a sunset. The Stoic solution for this is the practice of mindfulness or full attention. It is about being conscious and present at every moment, valuing what is around you now. How about starting this today? Next time you get too worried about the future, you pause and bring your attention to the present. Observe your breath, feel the floor under your feet, or simply enjoy what is happening around you. Gradually, you will find that true happiness is to live fully now. Sixth, ignore gratitude for little things. At the rapid pace of modern life, it is easy to go through the days without realizing the little things that bring us joy and meaning. We complain about the routine, the tasks of everyday life, or what we lack, while we fail to value what we already have. Ignoring gratitude for little things is a habit that can lead us to a constant feeling of dissatisfaction. Stoics teach us that gratitude is one of the most powerful practices to cultivate happiness and inner peace. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Gratitude transforms what we have enough." When we practice gratitude, we change our perspective, focusing on what we have already gained and the blessings that are already present in our lives, rather than concentrating on what is missing. Imagine that you are having an ordinary day. You woke up, went to work, took care of your responsibilities. Instead of complaining about the monotony, you could stop for a moment and reflect on the good things that happened. A pleasant conversation, a tasty meal, or even the fact that you have a ceiling about your head. The Stoic solution for this is to maintain a gratitude diary where you write down 3 things you are grateful daily. How about starting this today? Next time you get complaining, pause and think of 3 things you can be grateful. Gradually, you will realize that gratitude transforms not only your day, but also your way of seeing life. Try to control everything around you. We often strive to control every detail of our lives, from the result of a project at work to the actions of the people around us. However, this habit of trying to control everything can lead us to a constant state of stress and frustration, as many things are simply beyond our reach. Stoics teach us that the key to inner peace is to accept what we cannot change and focus on what is under our control. Seneca, one of the big names in Stoicism, said, "Accept what you can't change and change what you can." This idea invites us to reflect on where we are spending our energy and directing it to what really matters. Imagine that you are organizing an event and despite all your planning, something goes wrong. Instead of despairing, you can choose to accept the situation and focus on solving the problem as best you can. The Stoic solution for this is acceptance. Accepting that not everything is under our control allows us to deal with adversity more serenely and effectively. How about starting this today? The next time you take trying to control something that is out of reach, pause and ask yourself, is this under my control? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and accept the situation. Gradually, you will realize that true freedom is focusing on what you can change and let go what you can't. Throughout this video, we have exploited 7 harmful habits that go against the principles of Stoic philosophy and which are most likely affecting their quality of life. From complaining of what we cannot control to trying to control everything around us, these habits can lead us to a cycle of stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. However, as we have seen, the teachings of the great Stoic thinkers, such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marco Aurelio, offer us powerful tools to transform these behavioral patterns. Now that you know what these habits are and how to replace them with Stoic practices, it's time to put this knowledge into action. How about starting with a 7-day challenge? Each day, choose one of the habits you identified in yourself and try to replace it with a Stoic practice. For example, on the first day, practice the control dichotomy and focus only on what is within your reach. On the second day, work emotional self-sufficiency and stop seeking external approval, and so on, even complete the 7 days. Remember, The change begins with small steps. Each day is a new opportunity to practice stoicism and approach a more serene, resilient, and significant life. If you liked this video and want to deepen even more on the topic, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to receive more content like this. Leave in the comments what habit you identified in yourself and how you want to change it. Your experience can inspire other people.